Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Okay, we're here today for our next reaction. We're going to check out My Dying Bride, and the song is the Poorest Waltz. Poorest Waltz. And it's your choice, Andy. Why are we checking out My Dying Bride today?
They are by far my favourite band. Absolutely love this band. I've got everything they've ever released. Goes back to seeing the Symphonaire video on MTV in 92, something like that, early 90s anyway. Just getting into sort of doom as such, and this was brilliant. That particular release. As we mentioned before, we're doing a project where we're endeavouring to meet our musical idols. Aaron Stainthorpe, vocalist for My Dying Bride, lyricist as well, is one of my idols who I'd like to meet and interview. And it's not necessarily my favourite song, but I really like the visuals on this video. It's one I can have a pretty good stab at playing as well, so that might have been an influence for it. But I do like watching this video. So it is a really good song, great song, and interested to see what you guys think.
Okay, so you two both have heard My Dying Bride and like My Dying Bride. I think I may have heard of like one of their songs on one of these like compilation CDs that came with like Terrorizer or one of those Metal Hammer. It may have appeared up there. So I have very little knowledge. So it's a real reaction for me, and for you guys, it's more of a review. Okay, so let's go.
Off, Dave, when we get to the end, yeah.
I think so. Yeah, I'll take the lead on the feedback on it. Okay, let's do this.
Across the cedar-covered river, within the night that covers them, up the hill toward the dark gate, and a crow so sweet. Over the silence wide. To go up and dance with the blind girl, a secret so holy and dire, to waltz in arms of innocence, hushed delights from the choir.
Are you going to say that means
That's my Faith No More reaction.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me work through this one. So it's quite doomy. I really liked it. I was just doing that for fun. I actually really liked the track. It's exactly what I was expecting from what you guys were telling me about My Dying Bride. I was expecting it to be quite doom. My entire doom knowledge would probably be Paradise Lost. That's it. That's the background I have from Gothic, Draconian Times, stuff like that. So that's where I would kind of sort of talk about my background with it. And so I can kind of go, yeah, I can hear elements of if that had been a Paradise Lost track coming out, yeah, I'd kind of understand that would be on a Paradise Lost album. The one thing I found different though from listening to something like that to this song was it was doom, but it felt light. I don't know if that makes sense from what I'm talking about. It doesn't feel like it's got a whole load of weight trying to push you down. It's got that lower end of the doom, kind of the heavy chug, the doom guitars, but his vocals are much lighter than what you hear a lot of doom vocalists go. They like to go real guttural and growly and low down and deep, like try and do like Typo Negative Pete Steele, like trying that, where he's kind of singing in a much more natural tone. And I was trying to work it out as I was listening to the song, like what was I hearing that was different to what I hear in a lot of bands, and I only worked it out right near the end, and it's that he's single tracking his vocals. So you hear it on the verse, but on the chorus they do the harmony. So you see a lot of vocalists like to put in lots of reverb on their vocals. They like to add double track it up to fatten the tone out, whereas what I heard with Aaron was it sounds like he just literally single tracked it and then he doubles it up in the chorus and they put a little bit of harmonizing on the chorus, and I actually like that because it gives you a much more natural tone. Weirdly, didn't like the video. But the only reason I didn't like the video was the lighting of the video. This is just a bugbear. It's just that it looks like a budget video. Like they've set them up in a room. They've done all that work to make it look really good. They've got all the dancing, and then it just looks like they've got some halogen lights from a workman's site and whacked them in front of them and just put them on full beam and set record. It's like they've got everything else done really well, and then gone, fuck it, we ain't got any lights. Anyone got any? Go out on the street, grab the lights off the street, whack them up, that'll do. Fuck it. That's what it looked like. And I was just like, maybe that's intentional. Maybe that's what they were going for. But I'm like, you've got a great room. You've set it up. You've set your stage up. You're doing all this lovely theatrics going on. You've got all these dancers round. Was it meant to look like candlelight? I don't know. But it just came across with these really bad shadows going behind them. I don't know, from a visual, it could be that. But it just got me this impression of budget video, which I kind of expect from if a local band had done that, I'd be like, okay, you've done it on a budget. But when they started right at the beginning, they had like that graphic design cartoon thing going in. I was like, oh, okay, this is cool. And then it cut to that. I'm like, so why is that cartoon bit at the beginning? It doesn't. The cartoon bit going into a building, got it. And then they're in the building. So why did they need the little cartoon bit at the beginning? I just didn't quite get that. But I liked the track. I did really like the track. I try not to destroy videos too much over the song. But I just would have liked it maybe if they'd changed the lighting, maybe the video wouldn't have distracted me as much. But good track, and I really like his voice.
Yeah, Andy, I wouldn't have chosen that as my video. I would have gone for You, the first real video they did for MTV in 1996 from like Gods of the Sun. That I don't think that's entirely representative of My Dying Bride, that song. They're a lot more extreme, and there's a lot of death metal in this band. Their first their debut demo from 1990, Towards a Sinister, is as evil as any black metal you'll hear, from the Mayhem era. But it's a really harsh, obituary-esque gothic death metal. Great song. That is the one album in the discography that I can't get into. And I'm just reading here. So me and Aaron sat down. I'm a big fan. I love the 93 album, Turn Loose the Swans, the 95 follow-up, Angel in the Dark River, Like Gods of the Sun, 1996. And my all-time favorite is their 2001 record, The Dreadful Hours. So I sat down with Aaron, we did it over email. We went through all the albums. I give my verdict, he gave his, and he said, well, I put, this is the hardest MDB album to digest and the nearest thing they have to a mediocre offering. And Aaron's put, actually, because I criticised a song called Like a Perpetual Funeral, he said, actually, Like a Perpetual Funeral is a firm fan favourite live, so eat your words. Also, the Poorest Waltz is beautifully crafted with a fine video to support it, so he likes it. I think you are being harsh with this, as it's a very strong record, in my opinion.
Oh, well, we're going to get an interview with him, aren't we, now?
I was saying, you really set the foundations for me to have a chat, didn't you?
No, guess what? He is as humorous as you'd think. You know, he's
Yeah.
got a sense of humor. Great guy. I love the entire back catalogue. Like, and to me, Britain's greatest ever metal band other than Black Sabbath. So influential. And guess which band I'm going to mention, guys? Celtic Frost.
Oh,
This is the band that were the successors that took on that torch of avant-garde metal with the violins and the Charles Baudelaire poetry and the Marquis de Sade sinister imagery. So they really were the Celtic Frost of the 90s, especially with that 1993 album. One's still going strong, probably the most consistent band of all time.
You know what? We're going to mention Britney Spears on this album, on this channel one day. And you're going to go, do you know Celtic Frost influenced the Baby Hit Me One More Time album with their solo part? You're going to get Celtic Frost in there somewhere. Andy, wrap it up for us, mate.
Why did I pick the video? Well, why did I pick this particular video? Yeah, it's not my favourite song and it's not off my favourite album, but I thought visually, we look at the video first. I think it is a stunning piece of visual film to accompany the song. I maybe I'm sort of a little biased, but I don't think why they put that little animation at the beginning and at the end, but it's got all the things that I like about My Dying Bride and Doom. It's got Yorkshire moors with a big hanging moon. It's got the 17th century house, which, as you said, David, they then appear to be in performing their song. Yeah, I'll never unsee the fact that it's going to be, as you say, a couple of halogen builders lamps illuminating the stage. But
I've ruined it for you now.
Yeah, whether that was the effect, I don't know. But I love the visuals on this. I love we've got that sepia filter that we've seen before. The outfits that the guitarists Hamish and Andrew are wearing, I love that sort of gothic look. You've got the roses, you've got the blind girls dancing. You've got Aaron in his black suit and his shirt, and it's just, I just love the visuals of the video, and it's my favourite format as well. You've got the performance, all the band members performing the song, and you've got the intercut theatrical scenes as well. Yeah, it's a fantastic. I can't praise this band highly enough. I absolutely love their stuff. I can't even be too critical of the 34.788% album, which was very outside the remit of this band. But there's some cracking songs on this Metal Hall Failures album. You mentioned Like a Perpetual Funeral. That is one of my absolute favourites. And as Aaron said, it's a live favourite. And I could have a good stab at that one as well, which I'm quite proud of. Yeah, glad it's come up today. Boosted my mood.
There we go.
It really has. So thank you, David.
No
I recommend.
worries.
If you want to check out My Dying Bride, this isn't indicative of what they are. This, you mentioned the vocals are very clean, they're very melodious, but there are, Aaron mixes it up with some incredible death metal, which that's what he was known for on the first sort of two albums. I think the clean vocals were introduced in part on the third album, Angel on the Dark River. But just check out any of their back catalogue. You know what you're getting from a My Dying Bride album, apart from the one I mentioned, which is a little bit more experimental, but it's still doom, it's still heavy, just very different from what you'd expect from My Dying Bride. But yeah,
okay.
Can I just come in on that? I would, if anyone wants to check out My Dying Bride, I'd start with the 2001 album, The Dreadful Hours. That's got a great mix of doom, death, a lot of melody in there, some keyboards, very gothic. The artwork is stunning as well. It's a painting from Aaron that's inspired by the Yorkshire Ripper, I believe. But yeah, that's Andy. We are, if we get an interview with Aaron, this is just going to be life-changing for us, isn't it? We love this band.
Violins, David. What's your view of the violins, which are an integral part of My Dying Bride? There was a few.
Yeah, I like
it. Their career where it was, sort of excluded for whatever reason, but I love it. It gave me chills. That isn't the best violin part throughout their catalogue of songs, but
it was
watching that guy play that, it gave me chills. Absolutely love the violin in Doom. My Dying Bride are the purveyors of it. They're influential. Other bands have used that in their in their music as well.
See, for me, I like symphonic metal as well, so I like string sections in music. I like anything that fills sections out. So I'm less about guitar riffs. I'm quite happy with guitarists laying down some really nice, big, chunky chords and letting strings then swell behind hand, and then just doing some nice melodies, some keyboard parts. I like everything to kind of sit. So it's not necessarily, I'm not a massive like riff head. So I quite like when people bring in violins and cellos and all sorts of stuff. So let me talk about bands like Apocalyptica. I'm like, yeah, I like a bit of Apocalyptica. I love all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm quite happy when people bring in strings on albums. Anyway, we must move on. So that was My Dying Bride and The Poorest Waltz. A good choice there by Andy. If you like this video, please do subscribe, click the bell icon, like and share, and we will all see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.